Yo, what is up everybody? It's your boy TravelZm, and let me tell you, I am hyped about this one. We're about to drop into the beating heart of Southeast Asia, a city buzzing with life, energy, and some of the most incredible food you'll ever lay eyes on. That's right, we're talking Hanoi, Vietnam, baby. This place is a trip, in all the best ways possible. So, buckle up, smash that like button for the algorithm, and get ready to explore 12 amazing things to experience in Hanoi. Let's do this! Alright, first up, we're hitting up Hoan Kiem Lake. Now picture this, you're in the middle of this crazy city, right? Motorbikes everywhere, people yelling, the smells of 1,000 street food stalls hitting you all at once. It's intense, but in the best way possible. But then, boom, you stumble upon this oasis of calm. That's Hoan Kiem Lake. This place is like the eye of the storm, a little slice of tranquility right in the heart of the madness. You can walk around the lake, people watch, even rent one of those swan boats. Now in the middle of the lake, there's this little island with a bright red bridge leading to it. That, my friends, is Ngok Sun Temple. This temple is dedicated to Confucian and Taoist philosophers, and the whole place just oozes history. If you want to escape the Hanoi hustle for a while and tap into the spiritual side of things, this is the spot. Alright guys, if you thought Hoan Kiem Lake was a sensory overload, hold on to your hats, because we're about to dive headfirst into the Hanoi Old Quarter. This place is a labyrinth of narrow alleys and streets exploding with life. I'm talking street vendors hawking everything from silk pajamas to knockoff Nikes, kids playing soccer, old ladies sipping tea and gossiping. It's a whole thing, and you just have to experience it to get it. Now the cool thing about the Old Quarter is that every street kind of specializes in something different. You've got Silk Street, Silver Street, you name it. It's like a real-life Monopoly board. But instead of buying properties, you're haggling for souvenirs and trying not to get run over by a motorbike. Speaking of motorbikes, be prepared to channel your inner Frogger, because crossing the street here is a skill. And don't even get me started on the food. The Old Quarter is a street food lover's paradise. Just promise me you'll come hungry and ready for an adventure, because the Old Quarter is an experience you won't soon forget. Okay, so you've wandered the chaotic beauty of the Old Quarter, you've found your zen at Hoan Kiem Lake. Now get ready for a dose of culture at the Hanoi Opera House. This place is an architectural masterpiece, a little slice of Paris right here in Vietnam. Built during the French colonial era, the Hanoi Opera House is modeled after the iconic Palais Garnier, and it is stunning. We're talking grand staircases, ornate chandeliers, the whole 9 yards. And the best part? You can actually go inside. They have performances here all the time, classical music, ballet, traditional Vietnamese opera, you name it. Even if you don't catch a show, just walking around the outside of the building is a trip. So, whether you're a die-hard culture vulture or just appreciate a beautiful building, make sure to add the Hanoi Opera House to your list. Alright history buffs, this one's for you. We're heading to the Temple of Literature, a place that's as beautiful as it is historically significant. This place dates back to the 11th century, and it's basically Vietnam's very first university. First of all, the architecture is incredible. It's a sprawling complex with courtyards, gardens, and these beautiful red buildings with curved roofs. It's like stepping into a postcard. As you walk through the temple, you'll see statues of Confucius, ancient stone tablets, and inscriptions honoring past scholars. It's a reminder of Vietnam's deep respect for education and learning, but honestly, the best part about the Temple of Literature is the atmosphere. It's incredibly peaceful and serene, a stark contrast to the hustle and bustle of the city outside. So take your time, wander around, and soak it all in. Okay guys, this next one is a little heavier, but it's an important part of Hanoi's history. We're talking about Hoa Lo Prison, also known as the Hanoi Hilton. This place was originally built by the French colonists to hold Vietnamese political prisoners, but it gained international notoriety during the Vietnam War when it was used to house American POWs, including Senator John McCain. Walking through the prison cells, seeing the conditions these prisoners were kept in, it's a sobering experience. The museum doesn't shy away from the brutality that happened here, but it also highlights the resilience of the human spirit. It's definitely a heavy experience, but it's an important one. Alright guys, let's be real, one of the best things about traveling is trying new food, and Hanoi is a culinary playground. But with so many options, where do you even begin? Enter Hanoi street food tours. These tours are the best way to experience the city's culinary scene like a local. You'll have a guide who knows all the best spots, the hidden gems that you'd never find on your own. You'll be diving headfirst into steaming bowls of pho, slurping up banh cha and trying all sorts of exotic fruits and snacks you've never even heard of. But it's not just about the food. These tours are also a great way to learn about Vietnamese culture and customs. Your guide can tell you about the history of the dishes, the ingredients used, and the proper way to eat them. If you're a foodie looking for an authentic Hanoi experience, book yourself a street food tour. Okay guys, get ready for something truly unique. The Thang Long Water Puppet Theater. This is one of those things that's so specific to Vietnam, so steeped in tradition, that you just have to see it to believe it. So what exactly is water puppetry? Well, imagine a bunch of intricately carved wooden puppets controlled by hidden puppeteers using long bamboo rods and strings, all performing on a stage. That's a pool of water. It sounds kind of crazy, but trust me, it's mesmerizing. The puppets dance and twirl across the water accompanied by traditional Vietnamese music and singing. The stories they tell are usually based on Vietnamese folklore and legends, and it's a really cool way to experience a different side of the culture. Alright guys, I know we've been all about the city so far, but sometimes you just need a break from the noise and chaos. If you're feeling that way, a trip to Ba Vi National Park is exactly what the doctor ordered. Located just outside of Hanoi, Ba Vi is like stepping into a different world. We're talking lush green mountains, waterfalls cascading down rocky cliffs, ancient temples hidden amongst the trees. There are hiking trails for all levels, from leisurely walks to challenging climbs. You can explore caves, swim in waterfalls, and soak in natural hot springs. Ba Vi is also home to several ancient temples and pagodas, each with its own fascinating story to tell. So, pack your hiking boots, grab some water, and get ready to experience the natural beauty of Vietnam. Alright guys, time for a little education. The Vietnam Museum of Ethnology is one of those places that's both fascinating and eye-opening. It's a celebration of Vietnam's incredible cultural diversity, a deep dive into the traditions and lifestyles of the country's 54 different ethnic groups. We're talking traditional costumes, intricate jewelry, musical instruments, tools, even full-scale replicas of traditional houses from different regions. You can walk through a hill tribe village, see how silk is woven, and learn about the different ceremonies and rituals practiced throughout Vietnam. If you're interested in learning more about the people of Vietnam, their history, and their traditions, the Vietnam Museum of Ethnology is a must-visit. Alright guys, get ready for this. Imagine a narrow street lined with houses and shops, people going about their daily lives. Nothing unusual, right? Now imagine a train rumbling through that street, not on an elevated track, but literally inches from the buildings. That, my friends, is Hanoi Train Street. It's exactly what it sounds like. A street, with a train running right through it. The train only passes through a couple of times a day, so you've got to time your visit right. Just imagine sitting at a cafe, sipping your coffee, and suddenly hearing the train horn blaring as this massive locomotive comes barreling through. It's a wild experience, and it perfectly captures the energy of Hanoi. Okay, after the adrenaline rush of Train Street, let's wind things down with a visit to West Lake. This is Hanoi's largest freshwater lake, and it's a world away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Here, you can rent a bike and cycle along the lake, stopping at temples and pagodas along the way. You can take a boat ride, watch the sunset over the water, or just find a quiet spot to relax and enjoy the peace and quiet. West Lake is also a great place to experience Hanoi's cafe culture. Imagine sipping a Vietnamese iced coffee, watching the sun go down, and just taking it all in. Alright guys, we've explored temples, sampled street food, and even dodged trains. Now it's time to experience Hanoi after dark, and there's no better way to do that than at one of the city's many night markets. As the sun sets, the streets come alive with vendors, street performers, and locals and tourists alike looking for a bargain. The energy is electric, the air is filled with the smells of grilling meat and incense, and you never know what treasures you might find. We're talking clothes, souvenirs, handicrafts, electronics, you name it. And the best part? Haggling is encouraged. Don't be afraid to negotiate for a better price. And of course, no trip to a night market would be complete without sampling some of the local delicacies. So, there you have it, guys. 12 amazing things to experience in Hanoi, Vietnam. From ancient temples and chaotic streets to mouth-watering food and vibrant nightlife, Hanoi is a city that truly has it all. This city will grab you, shake you up, and leave you wanting more. Thanks for coming along on this adventure with me. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe for more travel madness, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.